If you guys like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. My goal is to reach 100 subscribers. I would greatly appreciate if you guys hit that subscribe button and like it, of course. And also, I do have a few social medias I would love for you guys to hit me up on. You guys can follow me on there on Instagram and Twitter. I will leave the links to all that in the description. But with that being said, today we will be talking about the Phoenix Suns. And of course, the Phoenix Suns is a very interesting team to talk about. As of the recording of this video, they just finished playing the Clippers, and basically the scenario in that matchup was whoever won that, they clinched the playoff spot. And of course, the Phoenix Suns won, like I just said. But yeah, this is a very interesting team to talk about because Phoenix, well, I was watching the actual broadcast, and one of the announcers, I believe it was Jeff Van Gundy, but he said, and he made a very good point, that when has there been a time that there's been a team that's missed a playoff for like 10 years and the next year they make up the playoffs? But not just that, they're fighting for the first seed. And that's a very good point right there, because I didn't even think about it like that. And just with that, yeah, I'm very happy with this team. And as you guys will know, if you guys watch the videos, I bring this up in a few of them, but the Bucks are my favorite team, and I wanted Chris Paul. We ended up getting Drew Holiday after Chris signed with the Suns, or not signed, but was traded to the Suns. But I believed Chris would have ended up with the Bucks, but I don't know if I would have preferred Chris or Drew. A part of me is kind of saying Chris, but the only reason why I wanted to lean towards more Drew is because just age, basically. And it's like, I don't know how long Chris is gonna actually be able to keep this up. He is just the point god, and he's just aging like fine wine, basically. But yeah, Chris Paul is just turning this team around. And if you guys don't remember, he was traded to this team for Kelly Oubre, Ricky Rubio, a first round pick, and other stuff. That was mainly, it was other stuff, but that was the main stuff actually in the trade. But people just I really didn't think this would have had that big of an impact on this team, because I believe they would have made the playoffs, but there was people who believed they still were going to miss the playoffs because they were the Suns. And like I said before, this team has missed the playoffs the past 10 years. And with the addition of Chris Paul and other pieces, which I'm going to talk about later in this video, but with the addition of Chris Paul, they're just in the playoffs now all of a sudden. And it's just very good to see. Chris is averaging 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 9 assists. And it's like nothing too eye-popping, but if you watch the game, you just see the impact he has on this game. I believe one time this season, he had like a 20 assist game. It might be more, actually. No, I think it was 19. I might be mistaken about that. But Chris Paul is just, he's an amazing player, going to be in a Hall of Famer. I hope he can win a ring by the time his career is over. I hope so. It's really not looking too good, especially. But no, that's actually a topic I want to have for another video, because this Phoenix team could make some upsets in the playoffs, especially with the Lakers been struggling, but they have been they have been missing LeBron James, and Anthony Davis did return recently, but they're still losing with him, but it's only been a few games, so I'm not really too worried about that. But yeah, this Phoenix team can make some noise in the playoffs, and I might make a separate video on that, I'm not sure. But another player I would like to talk about on this team, and it's pretty underrated, is Jay Crowder. And it's just surprising, because like Jay Crowder, he's not too good of a player, but of course he's not bad. But basically what I mean by that is he just impacts winning, really. He just is a winning player. Like, for example, that Celtics team, he helped them have those winning seasons until Isaiah Thomas got hurt, and then they kind of struggled. But Jay Crowder is just a winner, especially with Utah. He helped that Utah team be good. The Grizzlies was alright, but one thing I want to key on is the Miami Heat, because as we all remember, the Miami Heat, they made this amazing playoff push last season, and they surprised a lot of people. They beat the Pacers in the first round, which I believe they would have beat them anyway. I believe the Pacers was the 4th seed and the Heat was the 5th seed, but they were missing Domantas Sabonis, so I believe that he was going to win that. But then they beat the Bucks in the second round, which was a surprise to everybody. They beat them 4-1, and I was definitely surprised because after we went down 3-0, was on the verge of getting swept. I say we because I'm a Bucks fan, but we were on the verge of getting swept. But then Chris played amazing in that game 4, and then it just went bad after that, of course. But then they beat the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they challenged the Lakers to. They got 2 games on the Lakers. Everybody was saying, "Oh, this is going to be a sweep," but Jimmy Butler just went nuts. But a very good key piece on that was Jay Crowder. He is just an amazing player that nobody really talks about and deserves a lot more credit. His stats isn't all that, but if you just watch the games, it's kind of like Chris Paul. You can just see how he impacts the game on the defensive side, just shooting the ball, just being a reliable piece on any team. But yeah, I really don't see why Jay Crowder is not really being talked like that. But it's surprising because I just love him. He's averaging 10 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. It's nothing too eye-popping, but he can just be a shooter for you. He can just play defense. It's not nothing too big, but it definitely helps you out. But then a player I believe can help this team out and has been in a way is Torrey Craig. It's mainly with just defense, and I feel like the scoring could be a little better, but I believe he can be good and just help this team out. But then there's also been players like Etuan Moore, who was an addition. Cameron Payne is surprising a lot of people because, especially with his history on his teams and him just being known as a bad point guard, Cameron Payne is honestly good. Really, because I'm going to tell you this. A few of my favorite YouTubers are Bulls fans. King of the Fourth Quarter and Rusty Buckets is who I'm talking about in specific. But they've made videos, not videos on full about Cameron Payne, but they've talked about Cameron in their videos and just talking about, like, why couldn't he be like this when they were on the Bulls? It's like Cameron Payne is just a really good piece for this team. He just he had a decent game today. He played amazing today, actually. I believe he had 11 points in about 5 minutes, and this was just an amazing game. I'm talking about the one he played today, but yeah, Cameron is just a very good player, and if he plays like this, he can get a big contract. Not a max, of course, or anything like that, but he can get a decent-sized contract from just any team that needs a reliable backup point guard. He's not going to be a starter, of course, I believe, but yeah, but also he can. This team just has other pieces like Mikal Bridges, of course, DeAndre Ayton. It's Cameron Johnson just being a spot-up shooter. It's just, I love this team, and this is a very good team that really, it should be getting a lot more attention than they're getting. But yeah, after today's win, which you should be seeing this the next day, I believe, on Thursday, hopefully, as long as everything goes to plan. But the Phoenix Suns are currently the 2nd seed in the Western Conference with a 44-18 record. Already have a clinched playoff spot, and they're 1 game behind the 1st seeded Utah Jazz. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this team plays out for the rest of the season. But yeah, that's really all I have to talk about, guys. And I thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And just leave a comment. How do you think, or what do you think about this Phoenix team? Do you think they can make some noise in the playoffs? Because they're honestly, they can be a contender. They can be a contender to make the playoffs. But yeah, it would be nice to see Chris Paul get a ring and just be successful. But yeah, with that being said, I love every single one of you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.